So, of course, after this conversation, I'm sure everybody has this question in mind. You have about 30 people on board, and you're more or less a media company now. The idea is, how are you monetizing it completely? Of course, one is the heritage walks that you started with, right? Have you explored any other monetizable options?
Okay, so Jugal, and you know what is very interesting? I feel that history is the new steroid that everyone is ready to consume. Hmm?
Okay,
Uh,
nice.
so I remember I was giving a heritage walk, and this IT guy was continuously coming for my walk. So I asked him, I'm like, can you tell me, you come from a very different background, you have a very different set of interests. So why are you taking heritage walks? What is that push for you? So he said something very interesting that made me understand why we are being a hit. He said that when he was learning history in school, it was very boring. It was very textual.
Right.
So through the heritage walks and through the content which is on YouTube and which is on Instagram, it has become so interesting and so it's almost like reading Game of Thrones. So, so
Okay.
what has happened now, Jugal, is we can monetize history as a content anytime. We conduct 4 heritage walks in a week along, and then we conduct digital walks. I would be happy to talk about that as well. So we
Yes, yes.
conduct a lot of workshops and digital walks as well. And that has helped us monetize the content very well. You can only monetize the content when you have an expertise in it and you have a very interesting outtake in it, and then people will pay to listen to you.
Right, right, right. That's very interesting because I've been speaking to a lot of people who've now started, monetizing a genre per se. So, like you
Yeah,
mentioned, history can be monetized. This, coming out with trivia and then going out for heritage walks and, making it very interesting as, opposed to the educational aspect of history when we go through it.
yeah.
Right. But so you do digital walks, you do the heritage walks. Has there anything else?
Jibble, also, sorry to interrupt, also
Yes.
adding one thing to your point about the monetization of history. I'm very sure you're aware with a lot of luxury brands like Forest Essentials, then you have Fab India, then you have Good Earth, you have so many nice
Right.
home living brands, right?
Right.
And more and more, they are completely relying on history to sell their products. Why is Forest Essentials so popular with the public, or Kama Ayurveda? The reason is as simple. They're talking about ancient Indian remedies, they're talking about Ayurveda, and they're telling it in a very westernized, sadly enough, in a very westernized way, which is appealing to the public. So we get so many offer brands from even Good Earth approached us and other organizations, all these luxury brands approach us, where they want us to give a historical context to the products they are selling.
Oh
So
wow.
nowadays, I've also realized one thing, that people are keen on buying products if it has a historical currency and value to it.
Makes sense. Wow, that's awesome. So you've been tying up with these brands in terms of creating some branded content for them?
Yeah, we have been. We keep on getting so many business requests from all these brands to give a context to their products and maybe brainstorm with them, come out with this exclusive theme and for the month, and then we work on things. This is how it goes because even brands have realized. And interestingly, we I recently got a call from Raw Mango also. So they wanted me to suggest them some places where they can do shoot for their new fabric launches. And now the fabric couture launches have these names: Noor Jahan, Jahanara. So all these historical figures, these women are now being used and they are getting inspired by them, and that is how they are selling the products. So there's a complete shift, I would say, in the consumption of content. Earlier, I think food and history are two things that are selling a lot right now.
Wow, wow. That's really awesome to know.